Hello again, everyone. This is Marco from Every Copper Counts, as well as Diablo3GoldGuide.net. Today I've got a cross-game strategy because I found a similarity between WoW and Diablo 3, not so much Guild Wars 2, sorry guys and girls, but I found a similarity that I think I can talk about and help people make more gold in both games. Now, before your eyes glass over and you think, oh, who cares about this strategy? In Diablo 3, this strategy, selling low-level crap, I was able to make $15 in a single day with no effort whatsoever. In fact, I didn't play that day. Okay, so that's something to think about. In WoW, a brand new character on a brand new server, because I didn't want any help from anybody, I was able to go from 30 silver to 10 gold in a matter of like an hour and a half, and I only played the beginning, the middle, and the end of that hour and a half. So it's not like I was at the computer the entire time. I was doing a lot of other stuff. You know me, my mind's everywhere. So hopefully that piques your interest. Let's talk about it. What I want to talk about is snipers and bidders. Okay, these two groups of people are other players like yourself that like to make money on the auction house in both Diablo 3 and WoW. Okay, and Guild Wars 2. Now, what's so special about these people? Well, this could be you. You know, you're probably going to be one or both of these types. I know I'm both. I'm more of this than this, but this is more profit, right? Bidding gets you a lot more profit usually. But how can we take advantage of the max and minimum auction time in order to sell to both of these people without them even realizing that we're making a buck? In fact, we may even be helping both of them make money while we're making more guaranteed money. Sounds pretty interesting, right? Let's get into it. Max auction time. In Diablo 3, it's 1 day, 12 hours. People will search on the auction house for how much time's left, okay? And they'll sort it based on what has the most time, because then they know it's a new auction, because millions of people are playing on the same auction house. It's all one server. So when they see 1 day, 12 hours, that thing's only been up there for a couple of minutes, because right away it goes down to 1 day, 11 hours quickly after that, okay? So from that point on, if this gets down to like 10 and then 9 and then 8, the likelihood of it selling really drops, okay? So 1 day, 12 hours. Now, the maximum auction time in WoW is 48 hours. This strategy doesn't really apply so much for the WoW crowd, but here's what I did. On my low-level character, I said, okay, I'm going to buy enchanting materials from the vendor, and I also found stuff on the auction house to bid and flip on, and buy and flip on. But anyway, with that specific example, I took some dusts and some lesser essences, and I bought them for like 7 silver a piece, okay? And I posted them up on WoW. They had a max buy time of 48 hours, and I said, okay, I'm not going to sell them for like 1 copper less than the lowest person. I'm going to sell for like half the price of the nearest person. And what I was appealing to were the snipers. Some people in WoW, but more so Diablo 3, they will sort based on the time left. All right? And they will say, what new deals that just came up can I snipe and take advantage of? Lo and behold, those auctions sold like instantly, most of them anyway. So that's who I was appealing to. For Diablo 3, we want to appeal to the snipers with this 1 day, 12 hour thing. What you can do is you can cancel your auctions. Now we're going to get into this a little more detailed because I don't normally do this. But if you have an item that's really great and it's prime time, over the course of an hour, you could list it like 10 times. And after like 5-10 minutes, cancel and relist it with no cost to you. Obviously, while there's a cost, so I don't do that. But you can appeal to those snipers by getting the item cheap, whether you farmed it or you got a bid on it or whatever, and then you post it for like half the price or 75% of the price that it would normally sell for, that you would normally expect someone to sell it for. And I call that buying, bidding low, and selling normal. And that, who are you appealing to? The snipers, who are going to buy it at that 75% and then sell it for like 100, 110, 120%. Now those guys and girls who are doing that are wasting a lot of time. And I used to try to do that. I used to say, oh, buy low, selling high. No, high means you're selling it like a little more than what you would expect it to sell for, and it takes time to do that. If you want to buy low, sell normal. Okay, so you're probably thinking to yourself, what the hell does this matter? I mean, now you're going to talk about minimum auction time. How does this all tie in? I'm going to come up with the strategy you should employ to take advantage of both of these occurrences, both the snipers and the bidders. So snipers like the maximum auction time. They like the minimum auction time as well. In Diablo 3, not so much in WoW. But the bidders really love the minimum auction time, when it's down to like the auction is about to end. So in WoW, that's less than 30 minutes. And in Diablo 3, that's basically under a minute, but really under an hour, probably. I'm willing to bid under an hour. In Diablo 3, you can place a maximum bid, which helps you play with this as well. Now, what I find happens is that when the auction gets down to the minimum time, if I don't cancel and keep trying to take advantage of the maximum time, if I let it trickle down, in Diablo 3, that's a day and a half. In WoW, that's 12 to 48 hours, okay? Now, if you're going to do this strategy in WoW, I'd recommend just do the 12-hour thing. Now, what you have to do for this to work is you need a bidding price and a buying price that is greater than the cost plus fees. And we want to actually make profit here. So if it costs me a gold to get the item and I'm going to lose a gold 15, my bidding price is not going to be a gold 15. It's not going to be a gold 25. It's going to be like a gold 50, okay? Because I want to get something for it if it starts to get bids on it. Bidding wars don't really happen, okay? I know we all think they do. I know we all think that items somehow become extremely valuable when there's a bidding war. No, they usually go pretty cheap because people can just go buy the item, you know, if they want to get it for the normal price. If they're bidding on it, they want it cheap. So offer this cheap deal, assuming that you got it even cheaper, as a minimum. And then for the buy order, make it like a good amount, like really close to the normal amount, maybe a little bit more. So if the auction goes through all this time, then you might be able to sell it for a lot more than you would if you were to just post it quick and try and get the snipers, right? So my general strategy is to create this bid that's greater than the cost plus fees, and then a buy order that is kind of like what I hope it sells for. Okay, I'm kind of hoping for this value. I don't expect it to, but it'd be really nice if it did, and it's still a decent flip for anyone who wants to snipe it quick. So I will let my auctions go from the max all the way to the bottom. In WoW, I don't do 48, I do 12 hours, because honestly, there's no difference in the game. In Diablo 3, it says one day 12 hours, one day 11 hours. In WoW, it will say 48 hours until it gets down to the next bracket, which is many hours later, right? Whereas in Diablo 3, it's like, yeah, I know exactly every single hour how long it's been up there. So I don't really like putting it up for 48 hours. I don't want to wait an entire day just for someone to decide to snipe it or whatever. So I go with 12 hours. And for Guild Wars 2, this decision-making process, you should still do this, right? You should still do a bid and a buy that makes sense, that's going to allow you a profit. Remember 0.85 times what you're going to sell it for, right? That's what you're going to get back. Make sure that's more, a lot more than what you paid for it. So Guild Wars 2, yeah, this strategy kind of counts. Now, what made me think of this whole thing, I mean, this has always been around. This has always been my philosophy. Make your bid and you buy, better deal. But there are times where I would just have a buyout, okay? Or the bid would equal the buyout. And not recently. You know, I've come to just give that up. Past 6 months, I don't do that anymore because of this strategy. You know, I want to appeal to this guy and this guy. If you only have a buyout, you only appeal to the sniper, okay? And what I found was I would sell a lot of my Diablo 3 items when I wasn't playing, okay? When they expired, especially if they expired during the day, okay? During the day, towards the evening. Not late at night, which I kind of expected more to sell late at night. You know, obviously I need more data. Even though I've sold hundreds of items, it's still not enough. You know, there's still thousands upon thousands being sold every hour. So my assumption is that doing this enabled me to make more money. To having a bid and a buyout that were different, but both enabled me to have a profit. If you play with fire and you make the bid less than a profitable amount, you're going to get screwed enough that you're not going to want to do that anymore. I know you think you're going to start a bidding war, but it's not worth it. Okay, so to conclude, I got numbers and arrows. It looks like a football score and all this like plays and stuff up here, but this is a whole convoluted explanation for a very simple concept. Put your auctions up for a long time. okay? You will appeal to the snipers who are trying to get a deal. Now, why don't we just keep canceling and sell just to the sniper? Why do we have this bid amount that allows the bidders to play at the end of the cycle? Well, I'll tell you, because when it comes down to a bidding point, it's not ambiguous, okay? When someone's sniping, they don't know how long they have. And that, in some sense, that creates a sense of urgency. But it's nowhere near the same level of urgency you get when you know there's a minute left on the auction, and actually now you know there's seconds left because you're reading less than a minute and you don't know how long's left. Okay, with sniping, yeah, you want to move quick, but you feel like you have a couple extra seconds to think about it. You can analyze a little better. With bidding, you can't. You just got to go with your gut and buy it out if you think it's a good deal. You don't have time to analyze the market. You don't have time to really think about it when it starts to trickle down. And a lot of my auctions, especially in Diablo 3, sell when there's not a lot of time left. In WoW, remember I told you about the enchanting items I flipped? Well, the ones that didn't sell right away, they got bought out by bidders. I sold every single one. And they all sell either at the max time or the min time. Very rarely do you see in between as I break my board. Okay? So keep that in mind. I drew all over the place. I was really long-winded. Very simple concept. Have a bid and a buyout price that are greater than the cost plus the fees. And when you set this buyout price, don't make it high. Okay? Make it a normal or lower amount that you would expect the item to sell for, because you want snipers to take it out and try and sell it for the maximum amount that they can. Let them waste their time doing that. You want bidders to bid on the item and get it for a deal and then try to flip it. Yeah, let them waste their time doing that. You get the guaranteed money quickly, which allows you to reinvest into more markets right away. All right, well, good luck and have fun, everyone.